So Pete is nice enough to join us right now. Pete, it's Michael Kay and Dom LaGrocca. How you doing today?
Hey, Mike, Dom, how you guys doing? I was glad to see Alex drop that because it wasn't going anywhere, Mike. You know that. And, of course, baseball don't need to be in the court with proceedings. Just go ahead and go to spring training, let baseball start again. Alex, sit out your year and keep yourself ready. And I wouldn't be a bit surprised if you don't come back and be a productive player. I mean, he loves the game. He loves the tradition of the game. He made a mistake like the rest of us did. And you know, I don't know how you get along with Alex. You probably get along with him pretty good because he loves the history of the game. He likes to talk to old-timers. And he just is a student of the game. And I think it hurts him in some respects because, to be honest with you, through text messaging, he thinks too much when he's at the plate, and I think that was one of the problems he had. But maybe sitting out for a year and watching it on TV and taking everything in, it's like a lot of these guys. They sit out for a year, then they become a good announcer or they become a good manager or something like that. So it's going to be interesting to see how Alex handles the off season. I don't want to hear he's going to play for the Ducks or some other independent league team. He don't need to do any of that kind of stuff because then you're creating a circus atmosphere.
Now, are you in contact with him text message-wise?
Occasionally, I was when he was playing.
What would he text you?
Michael, I'm going to tell you something about Alex, and you do the daily Yankee broadcast. I never seen a guy that could make $25 to $30 million a year that had less confidence than Alex Rodriguez. He's one of those guys, and I say this publicly to a lot of people, that there's three ways you can treat a person: pat him on the butt, kick him in the butt, or leave him alone. You got to pat Alex on the butt. You got to tell him how good he is on a daily basis. That's the way I read Alex Rodriguez. He just says he's not very confident with all that skill he has and the way he performed over the years. You think the guy would be a real ass kicker, but he's kind of a non-confident guy, and I thought that was kind of strange.
Pete, if he had confided in you that all the things he was accused of he did, would you advise him to own up or to continue to fight the way he has?
Take it from me. If anybody listening to you and I talk right now has a problem, get it out there as fast as you possibly can. I wish I'd have did it. I waited around for 4, 5, 6 years, and it hurt me because the faster you get something out, the better off you're going to be. It's just like this new kid from Missouri coming out with the fact that he's gay. And I suspect in our world we live in today, someone would draft him, and as long as he sacks quarterbacks and knocks down passes and rushes the passer, he'll get along with everybody in the clubhouse as long as he can take some ribbing. You can rib these clubhouses, whether it's baseball, football, basketball, or hockey. They do a lot of ribbing in there. I know we did with the Big Red Machine, and if we'd have had a gay guy in there, he'd have fit right in with us. But we wouldn't have cared as long as he produces on the field.
Pete, you said it took a while for you to be able to come clean. What took you so long? What was it that held you back for so long?
Well, once you say you didn't do something, and in my case, I knew they couldn't prove it because I didn't have betting slips and stuff like that, and I just took the advice of my attorneys, and I just, and when I signed the agreement with Bart Giamatti that there'll be no, I should not admit that I did, and there'll be no fining on his part. And I just let it go. And then, of course, Fay Vincent wasn't going to give me a chance. And then Bud Selig takes over. And I had a couple of good positive meetings with him. And when I had my second meeting with Bud Selig's Michael, I just swore when I left that office, and Mike Schmidt verified this too, I thought he was going to reinstate me. But something happened, and he changed his mind. But, all you can do is if you make a mistake, own up to it, which I have. It took some time, which it does a lot of people, and be a productive citizen, and hopefully somewhere along the line someone will give you a second chance. I won't need a third, and if you get a second chance, what I do, Michael, at 20 days a month, I sit in Las Vegas in the mall, and I sit and I sign autographs and talk positive about the game of baseball. And that's why I follow the game of baseball so closely. I watch 2 or 3 games a day. I can't wait for spring training to get started next week because, it's something I know a lot about and something I care about and something I can deliver to young kids or veteran dads or whatever.
I'm curious about how you feel like this, Pete. What do you think is worse, gambling on your team or taking PEDs?
Well, first of all, you have to understand, I gambled on my team to win.
Right.
Okay, so that's a little bit different than what Joe Jackson was accused of. But I can tell you one thing, that they're both bad. Okay, they're both bad. But I think in my case, I don't think I did anything. Well, I know I didn't do anything to alter the statistics of baseball. And as you know, baseball statistics are sacred. That's why baseball cards are more worth than football cards. Why is that Hannes Wagner card going for a couple $1 million? Or why is baseball memorabilia so much more valuable than football or basketball memorabilia? You know, I had nothing to do with altering the statistics of baseball. And these guys that take PEDs, wouldn't it be nice if you could ask Babe Ruth the same question, or Roger Maris the same question, or even Hank Aaron, who won't talk about it? I'd like to hear what their response would be, because those are the guys that lost their records because of supposedly steroids.
If you had a choice, Pete, and we've asked a lot of big players this, and some of them are quite honest. Kurt Schilling said, I can't tell you whether I would have or wouldn't. Yeah. If it was available, you'd be a better player, and you love to play, and you love that you were great. Would you have taken PEDs if they were available? That
is a good question, and I use that to certainly think about it, but then you also have to think about it, when I get 50, is my kidneys going to work? Are my lungs going to be okay? Because you're putting stuff in your body that can't be good for you. So those are the two things. But I agree with you. You certainly have to think about it. If a guy tells you, hey, you're going to hit 360 and 320,
right,
and you're going to make $10 million more a year than $2 million more a year, you have to certainly think about it. And I think even today, Michael, I think you'll agree, as long as the rewards outweigh the risk, we're always going to have a problem.
Pete,
you know people, you've read about people in the drug business, they can always stay ahead of the system. And Bud Seli's trying his ass off to get this cleared up. But again, this year, there'll be a couple guys caught with drugs. It happens every year because they think they can get away with it, and they'll continue to do it because they see the kind of money that's being paid out there.